gorgeous hair you have,
Oh my gosh.
Cameron. You look amazing.
Flawless skin.
Flawless.
No, come on. That's the Zoom
You
filter.
look like Danny Zuko or something. You look incredible.
That is the nicest thing I've ever heard. Wait, I have to slate. Hi, I'm Cameron Cheese with Queerty. Hello. I wanted to get into, I mean, it's so apparent right now, but even from the first scene that the two of you share together, there is like such a lovely, lovely bond here between the two of you. And I'm curious, just to start off, like, what are some of the things that you two connected over to begin with?
Well, I'm a Gemini.
And I'm a Libra.
So
we're very compatible.
Yeah. So that helped.
Pure chaos.
I think just our humour. I think as soon as we started talking, we were like, oh.
And the Northern thing.
Yeah, the Northern thing definitely played into
it.
Yes. Totally. It's a certain level of humour, I feel.
Yeah.
And just, our sass.
Our sass.
We've got the same level of sass. But yeah.
Sass and humour.
Sass and humour.
Dry? We're dry.
Yeah, quite dry sense of humour and
we got a little too much.
Yeah.
No, we're just
Yeah.
I
think we clock the same things.
Yes. Yeah. And we have the same views on a lot of things.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Humour.
We're twin flames.
Twin flames.
Hello, Cameron. Good hair. Amazing.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
I feel
wow.
jealous. No, you've upstaged me. I just give up. That's
no,
it.
That's
it's
not
over.
The idea.
Cancel this interview.
It is such an honor to talk with you. I'm so thrilled. I've been such a fan of your work for so long.
Oh, stop it, Cameron. Behave.
This means a lot. Of course, with Doctor Who, you've got truly the universe at your fingertips. There's so many stories you could tell. But I wanted to know what it's like to sort of crack episodes open, crack a new series, a new season open, especially with someone like, now you've got your new Doctor, you've got Ncuti Gatwa in the role. He's so charming. He's got such a great skill set. How does what he brings to the table help you shape your approach to these episodes?
Well, that is great. That's a good question, because I do believe in working hard on the Doctor. It's like you can spot those television shows that don't work hard on their lead roles, those detectives that just turn up and roll their eyes and solve a crime. I'm not, and I think it's very important that it's called Doctor Who. It's all about the Doctor, and bless Ncuti, when you cast someone like Ncuti in the lead role, you're putting him into everyone's homes, and you're on posters on the walls. His face is in Times Square. You have a very big responsibility to make the show good for the sake of your actors. I really believe in that. It's like, if we can't come up with a rubbish script. We can't come up with a rubbish scene, because they're the public face. Most people don't know who I am. The fools, but they don't. And he's the one. And Millie, they are the public face of the show. So that is a responsibility. I always want it to be good, so they can walk down the street the next day and people will say, hey, I enjoyed that. I think it's a really important. Add to that the fact that you're genuinely talking to a meteor of an actor. I mean, how lucky am I that in the year that I came back to Doctor Who, he also quite by chance said, right, that's enough sex education, I'm off. And at the same time, Millie also decided to leave a very long-running role in Coronation Street, which is one of Britain's biggest shows. And so I very much sometimes I feel like a bit of a vampire, because I take the energy off them. I watch their youth, and I watch their speed, and I watch their incredible comic skills. They obviously can do the dark and the deep stuff. Most actors can, but for actors to have that much comic timing is a real phenomenon. So I just want to brand. My CV just says lucky, lucky, lucky in a row.
There is this youthful energy to these episodes. I mean, what those two bring to it, and they're so capable in every respect. It almost feels like you're throwing these. There's so many musical numbers. It's like you're throwing these challenges at them, being like, "What can't you do? Like, let's see it. Like, do it."
And that's hard. That's hard work for them. I mean, sure. they will shrug that off, because I like to hope they have had enormous fun. But you've got to remember, when you throw in a musical number, that means choreography on a Saturday morning. That means they do not get their weekend to themselves. That means they're in there learning this, and they're going to remember those steps, because we're not shooting it for another 2 weeks' time and doing voice recordings for the songs. It's extra work for everyone. Means all the departments have to allow for that. All the team has to get them there on those days and make sure those things are happening. We get Jack Murphy in as our choreographer, who's a gem of a man. He's the choreographer on Bridgerton, so he knows his stuff, and my God, he's taught us a lot of stuff. So the fun never stops in that sense. But it's always hard work for those two.
Something else I talked to Russell about was just that, like, I sort of feel like he threw you guys into everything, including so many musical sequences, dance sequences.
When we heard, do you remember when we first heard There's Always a Twist?
Yes!
We both went,
It's incredible.
And the Goblin song as well. As soon as the bass kicks in of the Goblin song, we were like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And also, is this Doctor Who? It was just like,
Yeah.
it just seemed so, I'd never seen that in Doctor Who before. And so it
Totally.
was like, this is an exciting new challenge. It will be so fun when we get in the studio and we rehearse
Nice
this
it.
and we sing it in the studio.
And get it
And get it
recorded,
recorded.
and auto-tuned.
Auto-tuned and lovely. That would be lovely when that happens.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
No. We got on set.
Got on set,
They went, here's a mic.
off you pop.
Hot mic on set. Oh,
Rocket
wow.
Janice.
Rocket Jack.
That's all we had to do.
Oh my, the
Yeah.
fear was
The fear. And we
palpable.
just had to, like, go with,
It was the fear that fueled us.
yeah, we had just to go with it.
Fear is a great motivator.
Yeah.
I also wanted to make sure I talked about the fact that, you know, I think especially with yourself at the helm, this is a show that, you know, amidst all the fun and adventure, you're bringing these really important social messages into play. And it's not necessarily that we're like shoving it down people's faces, but it's there and it's undeniable. And I wondered if you could talk a little bit about why, you know, that's an important element of the show to you. I think especially in terms of the queer community and why you want to use this platform to speak for our community.
Yeah. It simply feels completely natural to me. It doesn't feel like messaging at all.
Yeah.
It's simply how I see the world, and thank you for saying that, Cameron. I really appreciate it. But in terms of like representing the queer community, that's everything I am. I don't need to think about that for a second. That's every morning I wake up, and I love that label. I love that identity. It's like people ask me, "Are you a gay writer?" I'm like, yes. I love it, and having been a gay writer for many years, you know, as I get older, I have to make sure that I keep my eyes open and realize that queer identities are the watchword now, and that there are, my God, there are trans wars going on, and there are all sorts of identities that are not being seen on screen. So it simply feels completely natural to widen and widen and widen the world to see everyone. And I'll tell you who would think that is exactly right, and that's the Doctor. That's the man who travels the universe to see and experience and welcome everyone and everything. This is so much on his side that it just feels right.
Ncuti, I wondered if you could speak to that a little bit. I mean, curious for you, like, is there a responsibility then to step into this role and kind of view it from a queer lens? I mean, is that part of what you're bringing to this character?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say my responsibility is to view the character from a queer lens. It's just to view the character from the writing's perspective, and what the writing is informing me to do. Certainly, I just want to honor the character. But of course, I'm so in love with the world that Russell is creating, and again as well, I love how intentional it is. But also, it also, to me personally, also doesn't feel intentional, because like Russell is just writing from his world as well. He's just writing from his world and the world, and there's queer people in the world, and so why not have us on TV? And so yeah, it feels like a responsibility, but then also very natural as well. I think the show it lends itself to inclusion, and not just that, but just making everybody feel like they've got a friend in the Doctor that they can travel the universe with. To me, it's just such a camp show.
It's
Anyway.
always been camp.
It's always been camp.
Yes.
Like,
I
so,
totally agree.
do you know? And
Yeah.
so I think it's in the DNA of the show, if I'm honest with you.
Millie, I mean, you talking about how it's always been camp. I know that you've previously spoken about watching, you know, you grew up watching past iterations of the show, past iterations of the Doctor. How does Ncuti stack up? I mean, how does he compare to the others?
Are you joking? He's topped Matt Smith.
Oh, that is a big.
And I am obsessed with Matt Smith.
As am I, by the way.
We're Matt Smith allies, so yeah, I totally. That speaks for itself. The fact that Ncuti's is top.
Wow, Millie, that's
a big
That's a
compliment.
big compliment.
I know it
Thank
is.
you very much.
And don't worry about it.
Well, there's so much more we could have gotten into. I'm just so grateful for the time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cameron.
It's been
Yeah,
lovely chatting
thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely
Thank you,
chatting.
Cameron. Keep that hair high.
I will do my best.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, darling.